Okay, for this video, this is for project number 4. I'm going to show you how to make, well, let me move that. I'm going to show you how to make the bag, this stamped special delivery bag. And I'm going to do it using the gift bag punch board. If you want to see how to make it using a score or your Stampin' Trimmer, scoreboard, whatever, check out video number 13. It's a different bag, but it's the same method. And then I have all of the measurements in this project, in the tutorial for project number 4. So I'm going to start with stamping my paper, and I'm going to stamp the birthday cake all over. I'm not trying to go in any certain pattern. It just kind of naturally happens. Just kind of get some big art in here, and then we're going to fill in with smaller things. Just want to make sure I get the whole paper inked up. Okay, so I'm done with that. That was Lemon Lime Twist for the cake, and then I'm using Pacific Point for the gift. Oh, this is a 12 by 6 piece of paper, so you will need 12 by 12 cardstock to cut down to make this. So I'm gonna, in Pacific Point, I'm gonna stamp some presents. If you can hear people talking outside my door, that's my husband and children who are apparently coming upstairs for bath time. One more over here, and then we're going to move on to pumpkin pie. So that was Pacific Point. And now we're going to stamp the balloons in pumpkin pie. And just a note about the balloons. There is a stamp in here, and I'll show it to you. Let me do that real quickly. There's a stamp. This one right here, this long kind of curly line. That will stamp the tails for the balloons, the ribbon. But for this bag, I don't think you need them. If you wanted to do them, what you would need to do is create masks for this, and the party hat, so that whenever you stamp the balloon string, you don't end up stamping on top of something else. But you could easily mask these off. And if you don't know what masking is, you would get, say, a Post-it note and stamp like the cake on there, and then cut the cake out and cut real close to the edges of the cake, or right on the edges, and then you would paste it or tape it. That's why I use Post-it notes, so you don't need adhesive because they're already sticky. Just put it right over top of the cake and then stamp, so that basically your balloon tail hides behind the cake, or looks like it's hiding behind the cake. That was probably not the best explanation of masking, but it was just something that I thought of right now, so I thought I'd tell you. Okay, so now we're doing the party hats in Real Red. Oh, I messed that one up. Let's see if I can line it up. Actually, not too bad, but I'd probably stick a decoration over top of that to hide it. I do that a lot. If you watch my live videos, you know that half of my embellishments are there because I smudged ink or, you know, smeared my stamp or something like that. So I'm just filling in the rest of the space with the party hats. That's my baby yelling outside the room. She gets very excited for bath time. Okay, so do one more. One more. No, that's good. We're good. Okay, so the most important thing when you are making a bag is to remember that before you start doing all of your scoring and punching and whatever, is you turn it upside down. So I'm using the gift bag punch board, and you're not going to use the instructions on the gift bag punch board, because the gift bag punch board makes a gusseted bag, and we're not making a gusseted bag. So don't follow the instructions on the punch board or you'll end up not making the bag in the tutorial. I mean, you can do it gusseted if you want to, but that's not what I'm doing. Okay, so I go through at the very beginning and I score the whole horizontal score line because I don't like to do it a bit at a time. I like to do it all at once, get it done. I'm going to fix this so it meets up better. Okay, there we go. So I've scored the horizontal score line because that's going to be your bottom flaps. And then line it up here at the start line and punch. And then, let's see, you're scoring on the large score line because we're making the large width of box. It's not a large box, but it's the large width. And then you're going to take that score line you just made and line it up at the start line. And punch again. And this time you're going to score the side 2 line. Sometimes it's easier to start at the bottom because this little arrow is not exactly above the line. So score at side 2. Don't do the side and triangle lines unless you want a gusseted bag. Then you would do those. And then you're going to move that line you just made to the start line and punch again. And while you're there, you're going to score at the large score line again. And then you're going to move that line over to the start line. So basically, you're always punching the line you just drew. You're going to punch again. And this time you're going to do the side 2 score line again. And then once that is done, you're going to punch one more time so that you have a little 1/2 inch flap. Okay, so now we're done with our punch board. And I'm going to move those out of the way. And then I'm going to do a little bit of snipping. Now I'm not going to show y'all how to decorate this bag because the decoration's pretty straightforward and the instructions are in the tutorial. Okay, so here you're going to snip off this whole little tab, and then you're also going to wedge the bottom. So I'm going to do it all in one. I'm just going to cut a triangle right there that takes that whole thing off. Not a triangle, but a diagonal line. And then, okay, that's all the snipping you're doing because because you've already got that. The punch board does all the wedging for you, so you don't need to do any wedging. So now I'm just going through here. Actually, I'm going to burnish these score lines. So burnish a little bit with your bone folder or with the bone folder that comes with the punch board. Let's do this one. And then we're going to do all these. Okay, so open that back up, and then you're going to, let's see, this is going to come here, so you got to fold this flap down, and basically you want to be able to fold this to where it meets up exactly, and this flap goes right under the edge. And then I've got my tear-in tape over here. Oh, I've hidden it behind a few things. I've been keeping it in a different spot recently, so I keep forgetting not to put stuff on top of it. But so I'm going to put a little tear-in tape here, and I'm going to put it right along this edge, or close to the edge anyway. And then peel the backing off. Well, I can't get the backing off. So then you're just gonna take that right flat, and then you've got your bag, and then you gotta kind of, I say square up, but it's really rectangle up the bottom. But I'm not gonna be nerdy, so I'm gonna say square up. So square up the bottom, and I'm gonna put some tear-in tape on the inside flap. My little hooky thing. And then, okay. I can never make these square when I'm trying to do it like on a video. Oh, why is it not sticking? Okay, so you can stick your hand inside the bag and push if you can't get it to catch. But that you also risk making it not rectangular. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to close the bag. You're going to, what did I use? I used the library clips and not the binder clips. You could use the library clips, these, or you could use these binder clips, which are kind of my favorite. I think in the tutorial I've got the binder or the library clips. So this is the back of the bag. So you would put your, where the seam meets, and then you've got partial cakes over here. So you would put your decoration on the front, and after you've gotten it on there and gotten it glued down, push in on the side, push in on this side. So push them together so that you're kind of pinching it closed, and then just clip. And you're going to clip right on top of your decoration. And you can either glue your decoration on or use the clip to put the decoration on. And that's the bag.